So let's dial in on how to dial in your profile. So I'm just going to pull up Google Local Services dashboard. Okay, so once you're logged into Google Local Services, this is really what it looks like. So I'm just going to walk you through this dashboard so you understand what it is and how to get around it and what the key pieces are, and then we're going to dive into the profile piece. So if we click up here on the top left-hand corner, we've got leads, reports, reviews, profile, and billing, right? And so this is the leads dashboard right here. It just shows you how many leads came in, how many of them were booked or you marked as booked, how many were complete, how many got archived, right? And this is where you can quick access and quick update the status of your leads. And we're going to be looking at that in a moment. We've got the reporting tab. This just shows us how many leads came in, how many we got charged for, what our budget was, and this is where we can see that booking efficiency rate or that booking rate, which is going to be really critical, I think, long term to remaining a top 3 provider in local service ads when your service ads are on and when you're available. We've got the reviews profile area. This is where we can read all of our reviews that come from Google My Business, as well as the actual Google verified reviews. And this is where we can push out requests for reviews from the people that come through the dashboard. And then we've got the profile and budget. And so when I say first step, let's make sure we've got our profile dialed in. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm going to kind of walk through these settings with you, the things you want to make sure that you pay some attention to. So the first thing you want to look at is your budget. So you come right here to the budget, you hit the edit button, and here you can adjust your budget. How much am I going to spend weekly? How do I want to kind of throttle my lead flow? And what I suggest, I really believe that if there's search volume in your market and you've got trucks that are sitting idle, it's hard to beat $25 to $35 per lead. I'd really suggest you open this budget up as much as you can comfortably stomach, right? Because these are high quality leads, and if you've got this too short, like you've got your budget really low, you're going to be missing out on volume. You're going to be missing out on opportunity. So, I would err on the side of aggressiveness here, assuming you're going to answer the phone live, assuming you can get technicians out. Be aggressive. So this is how you modify your budget. You want to pay close attention to that. You want to make sure that you've got the job types selected. If you're plumbing, you're going to see a different toggle switch. If you're HVAC, you're going to see this. But, make sure that you've turned on all of the ones that you want leads for. Some people will search, and if you don't have these selected, you won't be showing up in the search result for it. So you won't have the opportunity to get that lead. And on the same side of that, you don't want to be bidding on things you don't do, right? So just pay close attention to the jobs that you have selected over here. Max out your profile. There's lots of things you can choose: same-day service, years in business, things like that. Just make sure you've selected ones that are going to resonate with your customer. We talk about if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. So just make sure that you've chosen ones that are really about that they would want to see it. The ones I like best are 24-hour emergency service. They care about that. That's useful. That's relevant to them. Free estimates if you do that. Not everybody does. Guaranteed repairs, on time guaranteed. To me, I think most of us should be picking that because one of the biggest fears your customer has is that you're not going to show up and they will have wasted their time, and that is extremely frustrating for most of your ideal customers. So just make sure you've chosen the ones that are most relevant to you. And then I want to dial in on these two areas down here. And as I've looked at profiles for other contractors, kind of looked at how they've had theirs set up, a lot of times I've noticed that this photos area is empty. And to me, that's a massive miss. Somebody runs a search and they get to let's just say they get to your listing over here. This is what it looks like when there's an image, and they can dial in and they can see images. Two types of images I recommend. It should either be your logo like they have or a picture of your team. I like a picture of the team. Again, personality. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. But regardless of how you come at it, just make sure that there's an image there. Oftentimes, you'll see it with no image at all. And so that's where you control your images right down here. The other thing that's really worth, and I think not just setting up once, but really setting up, looking closely, tweaking and modifying, is your service area. So you have the ability to be very granular with the cities that you serve, the zip codes that you want to target, and the zip codes you want to exclude. And I think the exclude part in a lot of cases is just as important as the include, because we all know there are cities that the demographics aren't the kind of clients you like to work with, that can't afford the quality of service that you provide, and it's worth really looking at this on a consistent basis. Are we wide enough in terms of our service area? Have we excluded the little zip codes in areas that we don't want to deal with? And I'm surprised as I show contractors this, even guys that are all set up, they don't realize that these buttons are available and they haven't spent the time to truly dial in their profile. And the other gotcha that can really impact you is the ad schedule. All day means you're kind of running 24/7. If you have that ad schedule turned off at certain times, obviously you're not going to show up in the 3-pack. And a lot of times, technicians go home 5-6 o'clock and there's nobody in the field necessarily, but there's an answer service that can take a call between 6 and 9 p.m. or 6 and 10 p.m. or 24/7. And that's when a lot of your consumers are searching. That's when a lot of your consumers are calling. And so you want to make sure if you've got the ability to answer the call and dispatch, you've got your ads running on local service ads in those times. And that there's an overlap between business hours and ad schedule, right? Because if your business hours show closed, that will take you out of the rotation as well. So just be aware of that and make sure that you've got your profile dialed in as tightly and concisely as possible. So really, snapshot on this. This is all in the workbook I'm going to send you guys after today's session. But just make sure that you've got your budget where you need it to be and that you're open to expanding it. You've updated your ad schedule. You've got your business bio with all of the key things that would resonate with your customer. You've selected the right job types. You've really set the right service area. You've thought hard and smart about what service area is and which zip codes you do and do not want to target. You've got the business hours and the ad schedule synced up in a way that makes sense, and that you added some photos, right? Get your pictures of your team, get your logo up there. That way you're not leaving that little extra piece on the table. So that's dial in your profile. Well, I hope you got value from that video. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to really more effectively market your plumbing or HVAC business online, I'd like to invite you to go to plumberseo.net/checklist. There we've outlined the ultimate online marketing checklist for plumbing and HVAC contractors to really maximize your lead flow online. This really simplifies the entire online marketing equation into a checklist that you can easily identify what you should do next and what you could do to really probably double, triple, or even 10x the number of leads you're getting for your plumbing or HVAC business online. So you can get that completely free of charge, simple one-page checklist with a video that explains and kind of walks you through it. Just go to plumberseo.net/checklist. Talk to you soon.